Hello, everyone. I'm GoldenHawk, creator of Ancient Powers and 24th degree High Priestess of the House of Life. I've come on today to speak with you, talk to you about contracts, broken contracts, and aren't most of them. I have a real strong feeling that most of you out there deal with a lot of people that are real happy to jump into contracts with you. Marriage contracts, contracts for houses, for cars, medical care, insurance, to teach your kids. Uh, Lots of contracts out there, and they want to jump in and create a contract with you. And most of you find that these contracts, you notice pretty quickly, are not really being fulfilled. Sometimes the contract isn't clear enough, apparently, even what's in writing, with all the loopholes and pieces with legal contracts. But even basic contracts between people or ourselves as parents with the school system. But contract after contract gets broken, and you keep your end of the bargain. You keep fulfilling it. You continue to hold your piece of the contract, waiting for them to basically notice that they haven't done it. Or medical. You go to your doctor's appointment and you wait 20 minutes, a half hour, an hour, and they're not paying for your time loss. And the doctor's making $475 every 15 minutes or more. And what's going into the clinic, and your insurance is paying, and you're paying, but maybe your insurance isn't really paying right because there's some kind of loophole and more gets left on you, and you're waiting in the doctor's office, losing money, losing work time, and paying for a contract that's not really being kept. And then there's marriage or relationships, and those who have gone into traditional relationships. Hi, everybody. More traditional relationships, and you do all these promises and forever, and the contact gets broken, and you carry on with it. There might be a fight, but you usually forgive because it's what you're supposed to do, right? But pretty much at no time does anyone say, hey, we need to make out a new contract because you broke the contract. And I no longer owe my end of this contract. Because we basically are put in a position where we feel guilty, usually, or shamed because we know it's been broken. And where all of this training, this programming comes from, the media, our parents, grandparents, the systems, a little critical thinking applied. And I got a friend here who really helped me with that probably a couple decades ago. But marvelous. But you apply a little critical thinking and you're not the guilty party. And it's not your fault that they did not keep the contract. They needed to come to you and say, oh, we need to change this up. But that's not what happens. And even with a lot of times car deals, you pay, you take it to the dealership, you pay, something goes wrong. Oh, were you 10 minutes late on, an oil change? Then maybe you did break the contract. but it's usually something that you were told was covered, made to understand was covered, that wasn't. Or they go, oh yeah, we'll go ahead and fix that. And by the way, here's your rental, and you'll have your car back in, 48 hours, and 3 weeks later, and you don't have your car back. And well, the time's run out on the rental, and now it's on you. It's absolutely ridiculous. It happens over and over again. And it's a piece that really needs to be healed. It needs to be healed within us so that we can come from a point where we can look at situations and say, we had a contract on this, and weigh what's going on and say, this contract is being broken, and I am now out of the contract because it no longer exists. You do not need the permission of the person who has broken the contract, or the company, the service provider who has broken the contract. You don't need their permission to walk away once it's been broken. Our legal system somehow seems to not hold doctors or insurance companies responsible. And the situation with marriages and all of the divorce laws, etc., it's held differently, it's worked differently in legal systems. But inside our lives, we have the right to make the changes after the contract's been broken to stop fulfilling our end of a broken deal. And this is really important. I have worked hypnotherapy with this with people. I have done journey work with this for people. It's a very difficult piece to actually grasp and hold on to. One of my very long time, really great clients, very, very interesting, intelligent, strong person, I watched for 5 years go into contract after contract after contract with the same person who broke them and broke them and broke them and broke them, and was made to feel so guilty for being involved in it and not being able to make the contracts worked out correctly with others involved, that they went back into more contracts trying to make this contract work out. And a position with a contract, and I had to clean this up in my own life, and it wasn't instant. It was not instant. And I have a very good system for clearing it now, and it happens quite quickly. But it wasn't quick for me, and it hasn't been quick for a lot of other people. But we've blazed this trail, and now it comes in, and it releases pieces, and it locks and locks and locks, so that the subconscious mind and the conscious mind can line these pieces up, and also line them up with the heart and the emotional. And because some contracts are made that should be made with the mind or the heart mind, and they're made from an emotional level, and that emotional level inside of a contract makes it actually, it's been written on a chemical reaction from the glands inside you, and it can be a reactionary contract. And these pieces, once they're turned, I shifted a contract piece. I actually finished it this week. It's completing this week for a big journey on contracts. And I know this happened. I experienced this. I know it happened. No, I did not create it inside my reality. We're co-creators inside reality. And this is not the only situation that it's happening in. And I'm not the only person it's happening to. And you need to hold your contract. You need to hold your contract. This is what you need to do. You hold your contract, or pieces slide, pieces slip. And I won't hold a broken contract. And you don't need to hold a broken contract too, or either. Sorry. You don't need to hold a contract either. A broken contract is so damaging to continue to pay out and give service to something that no longer exists. It is so emotionally damaging. It is so mentally eroding. And just because the other party will not admit that the contract's broken, they always seem to admit that what broke the contract happened, or you have evidence that it happened, and we need to hold our strength. And there is a way to repattern this. There is a way to get different results. There is a way to hold the school system accountable, because I've done that. I've done that. And that was probably one of the biggest contractual pieces with one of the Indigo kids that I was working with. And day before graduation, he's not going to graduate. I said, really? Because he's going to walk. Because this was fulfilled. But your end of it wasn't. And I had to go national in like 45 minutes. But I did it. And it can be done. And it takes a great internal belief in the fact that you can believe in yourself and know you're right. And if you need this repatterned, if you need to get some results on this, if you need some relief from not keeping contracts when they're broken already, you need that relief so that it's okay that you let go and not keep a broken contract. Contact me, PM me, and I'll get you the same results that I've got my other clients actually, but faster. Because we are in acceleration and everything is accelerating, including what we are able to grasp and shift and move. What used to take me a year to take people through, and then took 6 months, and then took 3 months, I am telling you now, it's 3 weeks to 6 weeks. Done. Change. And some of them can be instant. Some of them take moments. Some of these pieces. So give me a PM if you want those kind of results. Hold strong inside yourself and really, really take inventory of those contracts, because I have called out to a very special group of people, and these are people that are gifted, that tend to be in service. And inside that service, They will drain themselves in order to try and help others. And there comes to a point, and contracts are a real simple way of finding that point, a point of free will, where you understand it is this person's free will that they have made these choices to not keep this contract. And not only is it your free will to walk away, it's in the contract that it's over. They may not want to take responsibility for being the one who breaks it, but you know. And it's okay that you know what you know, no matter where it comes from. Whether you have evidence because you experienced it, because you saw it with these eyes, or because you saw it with the internal eye, you know what you know. Give me a PM if you want the same results I get my clients and my students. Love to have you back with me, and super happy with seeing some of you here. I'm really happy seeing all of you here, but I got a couple of my soon-to-be new graduates, and really glad that they could join. And I have a terrible time with keeping up with anything going on here with the messages. Glenn's in England, and it was our contract that he would go back. We're going to probably be joining him to open portals at sacred sites. I'm hoping within the next 6 months, and then we have a chance to go to Bosnia and the Pyramid of the Sun and the Moon, and some very special secret places there. Sacred places, sacred, and it should be awesome. And I love you all. Keep your contracts. That means once they're broken, renew it and make it anew the way you want it, or walk away. Walk away once they've been broken. Africa, beloveds.